Meanwhile, there's a crisis at the southern border that's coming in record numbers and leading to an epidemic in our country. And I'm not talking about migrants. We're now talking about fentanyl, perhaps something just as serious. 24,000 pounds of the powerful synthetic drug were seized at legal ports of entry in 2023. That is more than the previous 2 years combined. You see the graph there. It's enough to kill every single American 15 times over. And while that's a staggering number, border officials estimate they only actually capture up to 10% of the fentanyl that is getting smuggled into this country. The rest, it floods into our communities. It fuels an epidemic that is devastating for families all across America. And our own Allie Bradley, she went to the border with 2 fathers who lost their children to fentanyl, along with a Texas border sheriff who says he is doing what he can to stop the flood of the daily drug. I can't imagine what it was like, Allie, for those parents to be down there at the border with everything they've been through.
Gosh, Brian, their pain really was palpable down there. They're living through the unfathomable, right? They are living with the loss of children who died to fentanyl poisoning. One of them actually thought she was taking a Xanax. So these fathers and the uncle, they took their fight down to the southern border to hopefully get some closure. But as we learned, as we were exclusively riding along, their wounds are as open as the southern border. A bumpy ride down a dirt track to a spot that feels like the edge of civilization. For 2 fathers who lost children to fentanyl, it's difficult to match the raw beauty at the southern border to what they've learned about the stealth killer coming from the other side.
You have cartels over there planning the destruction of Americans and killing our youth, and combined with this beauty, it just doesn't mix.
It's kind of surreal because looking at it, it's beautiful, but it's also sinister in my mind because knowing that's where it's coming from.
Tom Quell's 24-year-old son, Jack, died in 2021, just hours after making this video of his pre-game preps.
The most important aspect of football is having fun, so we're going to just throw in these really fun sunglasses.
Mark Murphy lost his 21-year-old daughter, Lizzie, in 2020 after she took what she thought was a Xanax.
The DEA came to our house and he showed me the exact bag of pills, and that broke me down as a dad.
They're now united in honoring their kids by spreading the word about how dangerous fentanyl is, even to strangers they've just met.
We have a picture of a pencil with that much fentanyl on it underneath a microscope. That's all it takes to kill you.
Think twice. It's that one little second before putting something in your mouth that wasn't prescribed by a doctor.
Their guide, Carroll County Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland, taking them and NewsNation to one popular spot for people trying to sneak into the U.S.
And from there, you saw how shallow it was.
Yeah.
They'll walk the edge of the river.
While Border Patrol data shows around 90% of all fentanyl enters the U.S. at legal ports of entry, Cleveland says it can be hidden anywhere.
It's no longer Mexico smuggling, 1,800 pounds of marijuana. That now it's a backpack full of a couple thousand pills.
The DEA says fentanyl is now the leading cause of death for Americans age 18 to 45. While Quell and Murphy keep their message noticeably unpolitical, they have strong opinions over whether fentanyl deaths should be labeled overdoses or poisoning.
It's not an overdose, it's a poison. You are expecting to take what was given to you. And fentanyl's been put in there without anyone's knowledge. So to me, that's a poison.
And they're making billions of dollars on the lives of Americans is gut-wrenching. Mm-hmm. That brings tears to my eyes. I mean, that hurts. That there's a business designed to kill Americans.
Now, Brian, they say that this is not a red or a blue issue. Congress needs to act to fight the flow of fentanyl. And when it comes to their mission here, they've come in lockstep together. They didn't know each other until, of course, these fateful events brought them together. But Tom Quell actually started a foundation. These gentlemen are trying to prevent this from happening to any other kids across the United States. So it's called doitforjack.org, and it has a lot of information there where people can learn about Jack, but also learn how to prevent it from happening to their own kids as well, Brian.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.